between the campground and the existing property owners that are, up against the park. Who the organization is, I do not know. Who they're funding, we do not know, but I think we need to find out.
100%. Okay.
Be good for property value.
Other public comments?
One quick one. Isn't this great that we can finally discuss things civilly and have something that we all can be concerned about and work together with? So, thank you, Mr. Landman, for bringing up, and thank Elaine for bringing it to our point. And I know we got somebody that can help us immensely sitting right here now, Donna.
Just said, so I reached out to 4 people, we'll try to see what I can find out. I'm not sure if this is your county commissioners.
I mean, it could be just some group that's making this decision to send people here.
Just this morning, I heard that there's a homeless problem in Pottstown, but I had not been briefed on Norristown. That's why I'm wondering if we've had stories merging together, so I'll try to find out.
The only other thing I would say is, folks, you can call us at the office. If there's something going on, you don't have to wait till the next board meeting. You can always call us in the office and we can start looking into it sooner rather than later, okay?
Awesome.
We're happy to.
Email as well, right?
Yep,
Let's-
absolutely.
You wanna read off their email
Yeah,
address?
you can email anything to info@upperfrederick.org. Okay.
Stuff going on in the park, it's just taking place in the park, does that fall under Upper Frederick's jurisdiction or county?
Well, part of the park is ours,
Okay.
is in our township, so we'll have to see kind of where this is going on. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some digging for sure.
And I just wanted to touch on something. So Jeff, I agree, it's great that Mr. Trudansky provides a service to our community, but the majority of the problem was, it's a direct conflict of interest, him sitting here, and he takes half of our EMS tax fund currently. So when he was here last time.
That's not correct,
That's
though.
not correct.
Okay, which part wasn't, which was, he doesn't-
Half
Are
of
there many
the,
units wrong?
half of our EMS does not go to ambulance. It used to,
okay,
but I think last year, in 2022, the township, the board voted to reduce the contribution to the ambulance to 5,000 and shift those funds over to the fire company. So I think the fire company is now getting 35 to 40,000 and the ambulance is only getting 5,000.
okay.
Which is split between 3 different ambulance
But
companies.
it's not, it's
It's
now
not
solely
now,
under
it's
that.
only, yeah, it's only one ambulance
But
at
it's,
this
but
time.
it's
Yeah, the
still,
last resolution that I read was, when it was the resolution that bought its property out front, and that it also stated that we were taking 25% from Hardeysville and giving it to Plymouth. So that would give them 50% and fire
Right,
company 50%.
but then-
I didn't see anything since then.
Okay.
But,
Okay,
you don't publish all
I'll
the
find
minutes,
it,
so I understand.
yeah, I'll get it and I'll get it to you.
Okay, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
so they did vote to reduce the funding to the ambulance, and it was because the ambulance collects fees when they're in use.
Right, exactly.
And so Mr. Jadanski actually supported reducing it at that time, and because the fire company is all volunteer, it made sense to shift more of the emergency funds over to the fire company. I'll get you that
You
information.
see how important it is to keep these minutes up to date?
but that's what we discussed in 2021.
And
About
that
doing
was
that,
in the
actually
report.
rescinding that, moving it all to the fire department. And that's when in July it was discussed about that, or March, I'm sorry, about the whole new tax. Just give,
There's no new tax.
I know there
It's
isn't
the
now,
same tax.
but it was definitely discussed, and Mr. Chizansky was part of that conversation
Right,
That's-
and he supported reducing it to the ambulance.
Last year.
Yeah,
last year.
Last year.
in the
Right.
beginning, no, he
Right.
supported a new fire tax and leaving the EMS tax alone.
Right.
That's on the
Well, that
recording.
that
That's on the
predates,
minutes.
that might
But that was a
predate.
conflict of
So I
interest to
can
iron it
speak
out.
to
But
last
let's look
year
at it
what action
realistically.
was taken.
We don't want,
Okay.
we'd rather not have a certified ambulance service.
No,
Like I said, we
realistically-
could have
Realistically,
goodwill.
we would like to not
We
have
could
a
have
conflict of interest on the board,
It's not a
Jeff.
conflict
I
of
think-
interest.
In your eyes it isn't, but look what we just had with Bill Trey. Come on,
Okay.
grow up.
I grow up.
Yeah, I mean, you guys sat here, we've been talking about
Guys,
that.
sell it out.
I think it's great that we have Tom in the township as an EMS provider. I think he's excellent in that capacity. He has built that company up from what, a small little thing to what it is today. It's massive. But I don't think he should be on a board. I think he should do what he does best, EMS.
All right,
$5,000 doesn't cover a week of gas, so, for that service.
Let's
It's a
move.
business,
Do we have other public comments?
yes.
You just don't want to see it. It's your neighbor, your friend, I get it. But it's a conflict.
All right, you want me to stand or can I just sit?
Just identify yourself.
Bill
so everybody knows you.
Carrano, from Woodland Road. Oh, that's- All right, on February 28th of this year, I filed a right-to-know request for planning commission minutes for February 23rd, 2023, to include notes and audio recordings. My request was denied, stating that minutes are not posted until the following meeting when they are approved, and all recordings are destroyed. Why? Why are the recordings destroyed?
So typically.
Rhetorical question.
Oh,
What
sorry.
are you trying to hide here? According to the Township Code, all meetings of the commission shall be in accordance with the schedule established and advertised. That schedule, according to the Board of Supervisors reorganization meetings, is established and advertised to be held on the last Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. It doesn't say you can think about having a meeting. It doesn't say, well, around then. It says it shall be held. Following the above schedule that the supervisors put out every year, until now, from 2019 till now, there should have been a minimum, a total of 50 meetings held. That does not include workshop meetings or hearings. 50 regular meetings. As a resident, registered voter of Upper Frederick Township, if I wanted to verify what's going on in these meetings or what a candidate for supervisor claims in regards to development of our township, I should be able to refer to the planning commission meeting minutes and see if everybody's being truthful. Upon trying to uncover some truths, what I found instead was that out of 50 meetings that should have occurred, only 14 actually did. And out of those 14 meetings, only 7 of them had minutes posted. So residents can't go there and read what's going on. You're not being transparent. I can only come up with 3 reasons why this is taking place. Either somebody is lazy, and doesn't feel like doing their job, somebody's incompetent, and doesn't know how to do their job, or maybe there's some corruption going on and somebody's trying to hide something. By destroying the audio recordings and refusing to post the minutes of meetings that take place within our township, you're giving a very strong appearance of hiding or covering up your interactions with these developers coming into our towns. The planning commission or the planning commission meetings are open to the public, but how can a resident attend if they keep getting canceled? When you set aside time to go to a meeting and that meeting repeatedly gets canceled, you get tired of wasting your time. Maybe this is by design, so that you don't come to the meetings, so that you don't hear from the residents, and you don't want us to know what's being discussed. When it takes up to 6 to 7 months to get meeting minutes approved and then posted, and then what we get is basically cliff notes. How are we staying informed? Again, it gives the appearance that you're covering up something. When you have a lobbyist sitting on your board of supervisors and he appoints his friends to various positions within his township, you have to ask yourself, is he enacting in the best interest of this community or those land developers? So in closing, I ask you, what is it? 1, 2, or 3?
Thank you for your comment, Bill.
You're welcome.
I'll just say that I'll check our website and see if we're missing minutes, we're happy to
Okay.
replace them. As far as meetings go, you know, our planning commission are volunteers, and if there's no agenda items for them to discuss, there's no interest.
There's always a need to, at minimum, have the previous month's meetings approved. Then take off 7 months. But don't wait 7 months till you post anything to the website, because then we don't know. And I hear these people out here, we want to know. We want to know what's going on.
Okay, I just want to remind you, agendas, when they meet, are posted, and you are welcome to attend.
If they have them, when you plan on attending and it's
When
canceled.
the agenda is always posted at least 24 hours in advance, and it has the items listed. Every month.
That's what I'm saying, if I wanna go to the planning commission meeting, I'm gonna go down there and say something, and see what's going on. Okay, I got Thursday night, 7 p.m., I got the 30th available, I'm going down to the meeting. I go down there, it's like, look, there's no meeting tonight, it's been canceled.
And
You get
it's
tired of
always
coming.
posted.
You get
It's
tired
always
of coming.
posted.
So like I said, that could be by design.
You know, most municipalities do it that way. If the board would like the planning commission
You
to
know
show
how it has great
up.
minutes? The school board. They posted recording, you got a timeline, you can, whatever you wanna look at, you can pull up on that recording to the second. Why can't you guys do that? Too transparent?
Other public comments?
Can I just ask, so he was saying he was denied for the minutes, but there's a recording that Miss Hannah does?
Bill, you got the same denial for the Board of Supervisor meetings a
Not
year and a
true.
half ago.
No.
Because you asked for meetings immediately after the meeting when the minutes were not ready and they were not approved at the next meeting.
We have recordings.
Oh,
of the
have
minutes.
Great.
And so you set a precedence, you released them to us before, and you have a recording now that I requested, which you're not releasing. I asked now at the meeting, please do not destroy those minutes, because I am appealing.
Fine.
Thank you.
That was my only question. I was just gonna ask you about the recording of it. All the rest of it is on Mr. Prophet, he did the research there. But my question was, I did ask for the same thing in March of 2021, and I did obtain that from Ms. Talon. She did tell me that those meeting minutes are only kept for 30 days, and then at which time, I guess, Ms. Hannah or whoever, deletes them and goes to the next meeting. But since I asked for them before it was deleted, she had given them to me. So will he get those?
Once the meeting minutes are approved, we can provide it to you.
Oh,
That's all we're asking,
how-
that's what your denial said though. Your denial said, no, I wasn't getting them.
That's how you advised me, is that right?
Are you speaking of the recording itself?
Yeah.
Turning that over?
yeah.
Well-
Generally, no.
Okay.
Certainly
The
what?
rules, generally speaking, no. The
But you
rules
set a precedence
are-
already. You already released recordings.
I can't speak to it, I don't know that
I
happened.
don't.
Okay.
It was
So you
Mr.
just
Allen,
informed me of
actually,
that.
he did say that, but go ahead.
So generally speaking, the way it works, and there's an office of, what's it, OOR, Office of Open Records, and you can communicate with them too. Generally speaking, minutes are supposed to be not a verbatim transcript of everything that happens, but a general summary of what was on the agenda, who attended the meeting, votes for sure, expenditure of monies, and then generally notes about things. It's, again, not a verbatim transcript. We do not have a stenographer here. In order to assist township secretaries who do the minutes, they are allowed to record the meeting for purposes of assisting them with the minutes. It's hard to sit and listen and write. I do that a lot. It's very difficult. So they record, and then the rules are, the minutes are to be approved at the next regularly scheduled meeting of the board, which they are. And when that happens, then the transcript is just considered, notes or materials used for the assistance of preparing the minutes. They're not the minutes themselves, and they're not to be, I suppose the township would have a policy otherwise, but you're not required to keep those, and most municipalities have a policy whereby the transcripts are then deleted. They've served their purpose. They're not generally discoverable. They're not something that's made available in response to a right-to-know request. And even after the minutes are approved, I wouldn't think those then, are made public. I suppose if you wanted to record the meeting, you're allowed to do that yourself. You could keep your own recording.
What would be the difference?
Why would,
Wait, what would be the difference?
Because the
with-
purpose isn't to memorialize,
It's to
absolutely
inform
every
the
word
public.
that's
It's to
uttered.
inform us.
Look, I
Yeah.
don't write the rules, I just tell you.
Is there a rule in this
People
township
write
of
to the OOR, and this is the opinion that they give.
Is
To
there,
assist people in drafting minutes, they're allowed to record, but then those aren't minutes and they don't need to be preserved.
I get all the fodder. What I'm saying is there something in this township, an ordinance that says, after 30 days, destroy that tape and do not give it to the public? Is there
There's not an
something?
ordinance to that
Okay,
effect.
so why couldn't we release it? He's asking for it,
I
we
believe
possess it.
that's the policy, whether it's a written policy or not.
There isn't, we went through this in
Well,
March.
that's the course of practice, for the municipality.
In the name of
somebody-
transparency, okay.
those minutes, those recordings of the minutes do two things. They
Yeah.
inform us sitting out here, they protect their butts. I can say, Sean said all kinds of stuff at a meeting, and go blabbing it all over the township and posting it here and posting it there. He has no way of saying he didn't say it.
Right.
Meeting minutes are erased, gone. But if he had that, he can come after me and sue me for slander, saying, I didn't say that. Right here's the recording. Why would you want that?
Could you tell me another township that doesn't keep these, that are even near us, that you can think of? Because I've reached out to them. You know, they, most of them,
Who have you reached out to?
Lower Fred, over in Trapp, over in Limerick, you know what they do? They actually put them on TV for people. Anybody, you can go get these minutes. So I'm astounded that you,
Minutes or recordings?
the
or
recordings,
videos?
and if it's broadcast locally, anybody in this room could hit record on the DVR and have a permanent copy, yeah? So my point is, it just seems, it just seems odd that you were telling about deleting this tape that has a perfect record, no variation whatsoever. And you're talking about, you're trying to justify deleting it and not giving it to us.
I'm telling you what the rules are as I understand them, and for purposes of minute preparation, that's what usually happens with tapes. And I can, yes, name other municipalities where that is routinely the practice.
Oh. Let me get my
And
pen.
they're in the
I
ballpark
don't know who it
where
is.
you are, and I.
Dave Hoffman,
I have to take
Colonial
you back
Road,
what you said.
Perkins.
I'd be surprised.
I
if
just
other
want to mention that
municipalities
New
do that.
Hanover
Those that
posts their
have-
minutes, and they post it, it's like a week ahead of time. I don't understand why we can't do it.
Mr. Purport, that's what I'm saying?
And also, the tape, I don't see anything wrong with the tapes. If that's the case, change the policy.
Here's a,
You can, that's a
We've been
different
talking about this
discussion.
since 2021. I mean, it's, you know.
when you're the
I haven't
solicitor for the
participated.
township, how would us people out here, how would we say, you know, this is how we want our business conducted? Would we have to get a petition and get a question put on the ballot, or how would we go about doing that? If everybody's in agreement out here that we'd like to have our minutes recorded and posted and stuff like that, how do we do it?
Well, I think you've made that point. I don't know if this board is in.
Well, we've been saying that since 2021, so we're just curious. But here's to Billy's point here, he's saying that the meetings that they attend in the planning commission, we gotta wait for those meeting minutes to be approved, correct, at the next meeting? But if there isn't a meeting for, let's say, any number, 4 months, then those meeting minutes are never out there. And you just hold on to that recording for those 4 months, is that what I'm to believe?
Correct.
Okay, so for 4 months, we sit here going, well, I wonder what the heck just happened over there for 4 months.
Why the dozers coming in here?
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that's the policy that the township has followed. You know, and as I
Did
told
you
you,
do that
Mr.
other thing
Carafa, the planning commission will be meeting this month, so they will approve the minutes,
Fortunately.
hopefully. So,
Fortunately, but my point is, you
yeah,
know,
I hear your point,
Good.
yeah.
okay.
Is there any other, like, I think we,
Well, you're the super, Sean, what do you think about this here
I
at
think I wanna
Fiasco?
move on to the next one.
You
Again,
can't address it, Sean?
I don't have
Can
to
you
answer.
address, can we have these?
I think we're gonna
meetings?
talk about it later.
Well, later.
All right,
Why later?
Other public comments?
Why can't we resolve this
Go
now?
ahead.
So, again, thank you for letting me come tonight. I'm Donna Scheuren, your new state rep. And I just wanted to switch gears a little, but hopefully it's some good news for everybody. One of the governor's budget address was this week. And one of the things that my office has reached out to the Appropriations Committee, and I'd like to make available to just about everybody in the 147th district. And when I say everybody, I mean the EMS, right, the townships, the police, the fire, the school boards, the officials. We've put together a comprehensive booklet that I want to make available and drop off to each and every township of all the brand new grants that are available. And there's a lot of detail in all of it, and I think it can be very beneficial and very helpful, especially with some new ones that have been added and with all the budget obstacles that many townships are facing and a variety of issues. I think it's important to get the information out to all of you as soon as possible. So my office will be in touch. We're having massive prints ordered in Harrisburg right now for these booklets to be shipped to the 147. And I hope to make that available to you before the end of the month. All right, but again, thanks for having me and appreciate everybody's passion, right? We've all got to coexist together and make our communities as profitable and as pleasant and as safe as possible. We're all in this together. So, thank you for letting me talk.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Donna, are you answering any questions?
I didn't want to take over the meeting.
Okay.
We got plenty of time.
I can tell you that I'm working on the first issue that everybody brought up, and I'm getting fragmented responses, but what I do have thus far is that there is truth that the Norristown, where the Norristown State Hospital property is located, there used to be an emergency homeless shelter on that particular ground, and that is no longer open. Norristown is, apparently Commissioner Ken Lawrence made some comments that he is working on this issue, but Norristown is being inundated with the homeless population from Philadelphia. And I think all the fragmented pieces that everybody has this evening, there must be some truth to them trying to find and relocate them out of Norristown if they have Philadelphia in their backyard as well. So I will stay on this. My staff is going to be reaching out to all the county commissioners in the morning, but it seems like they are the root of this potential rumor.
Failed city policy working its way out here to the
You
birds.
know, so who we got there? Ken Lawrence, Joe Gale, of course Val has taken on her new role in Harrisburg. But I thought she, you know, they haven't, unless they've appointed that other individual. So Ken Lawrence must be taking the lead on this, so I will find out everything I can.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, other public comments? Okay, go once, go twice. Public comments, okay. All right, treasurer's report, bills to be paid.
So before you, you have your treasurer's report, a few things to note. Overall, our revenues and expenditures are generally on track. We have had a few bigger expenditures, items that, particularly the road mower, that did not come in 2022 like we had anticipated. It has come in January, so now we have a large bill for that. And so the treasurer notes that we're going to pay that over 2 months so that we can maintain an even cash flow over the next couple months, just because our revenues don't typically start coming in strongly for another month or two. Transfer taxes are down, which is pretty much what we expected with kind of a changing economy, and so we did budget for that. So overall, according to the treasurer, we're still looking fine.
Okay. And I will make a motion to accept the treasurer report as presented and file for audit. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.